most heinous, vile sexual abuse scandal in the history of higher education and sport.
Eliminating the statute of limitations on sex crimes. That's the hope of a new legislation right here in the Ohio Senate. Thank you so much for joining us here first at 4. I'm Darlene Hill.
I'm Mark Taylor. In the wake of accusations of sexual misconduct against a former OSU doctor that go back decades, Ohio Democrats are calling for an end to such time limits.
NBC4's Olivia Facto has more now from the State House.
Democratic State Senator Joe Schiavone, along with attorney and victims advocate Gloria Allred, announced new legislation here at the Ohio State House intended to eliminate the statute of limitations for survivors of sexual abuse.
It took me 20 years to share, and the moment that I shared was the moment that I lost my family.
Licensed social worker Elizabeth Joy says as a child she was sexually abused by a family member. Years later, she was raped by a teacher.
My story was all over the news, went back and forth through court. I did report that, and he got 90 days in jail.
Stories of survivors are why State Senator Joe Schiavone is introducing a bill to eliminate Ohio's statute of limitations for sexual abuse and assault cases. That's the time period in which survivors must come forward to report.
There's no statute of limitations when it comes to murder, and there shouldn't be a statute of limitations when it comes to rape. Many of us don't know what it's like to be victimized like this. But when you hear it, it's gut-wrenching. I don't care if it happened last year or 50 years ago.
The Democratic senator from Northeast Ohio announced the legislation at a press conference at the State House, along with victims' rights attorney Gloria Allred. Right now in Ohio, the statute of limitations is 25 years for criminal cases and shorter for civil cases.
Who benefits from that? Okay, it's not the victim, it's the predator. I also think that Ohio could become the leader if they would eliminate the statute of limitations, not only for criminal prosecution, but also for civil cases as well.
For survivors, this legislation is one step toward recovering from the trauma of abuse.
And maybe there won't be a prosecution, but when you prevent me from at least being able to tell my story and attempt to get justice, then again, you're just violating me all over again.
Schiavone says while there isn't much time left to pass the bill this year, he and other co-sponsors plan to continue to fight to change the law in the future. Local for you at the Ohio State House, Olivia Facto, NBC4.